The Frisian languages are a closely related group of Germanic languages, spoken by about 500,000 members of Frisian ethnic groups, who live on the southern fringes of the North Sea in the Netherlands, Germany and Denmark. The Frisian dialects are the closest living languages to English, after Scots. However, modern English and Frisian are mostly unintelligible to each other. Frisian languages bear similarities to Low German, Dutch, and Danish. Additional shared linguistic characteristics between the Great Yarmouth area, Friesland, and Denmark are likely to have resulted from the close trading relationship these areas maintained during the centuries-long Hanseatic League of the late Middle Ages. Division: there are three varieties of Frisian: West Frisian, Saterland Frisian, and North Frisian. Some linguists consider these three varieties, despite their mutual unintelligibility, to be dialects of one single Frisian language, whereas others consider them to be three separate languages, as do their speakers. West Frisian is strongly influenced by Dutch, and, similar to Dutch, is described as being between English and German. The other Frisian varieties, meanwhile, have been influenced by German, Low German, and Danish. The North Frisian language especially is further segmented into several strongly diverse dialects. Stadsfries is not Frisian, but a Dutch dialect influenced by Frisian. Frisian is called Frisk in West Frisian, Friesk in Saterland Frisian, and Frasch, Friesk, Friesk, and Frisk in the dialects of North Frisian. The situation in the Dutch province of Groningen and the German region of East Frisia is more complex. The local Low Saxon dialects of Gronings and East Frisian Low Saxon are a mixture of Frisian and Low Saxon dialects. It is believed that Frisian was spoken there at one time, only to have been gradually replaced by the language of the city of Groningen. This local language is now, in turn, being replaced by Standard Dutch. Speakers: most Frisian speakers live in the Netherlands, primarily in the province of Friesland, since 1997 officially using its West Frisian name of ʻfriːʒən, where the number of native speakers is about 350,000. An increasing number of native Dutch speakers in the province are learning Frisian as a second language. In Germany, there are about 2,000 speakers of Saterland Frisian in the Saterland region of Lower Saxony. The Saterland's marshy fringe areas have long protected Frisian speech there from pressure by the surrounding Low German and Standard German. In the Nordfriesland region of the German province of Schleswig-Holstein, there are 10,000 North Frisian speakers. Although many of these live on the mainland, most are found on the islands, notably Sylt, Far Paragraph HR, Amrum, and Heligoland. The local corresponding North Frisian dialects are still in use. Status: Saterland and North Frisian are officially recognized and protected as minority languages in Germany, and West Frisian is one of the two official languages in the Netherlands, the other being Dutch. ISO 639-1 Code Phi and ISO 639-2 Code Phi were assigned to Frisian, but that was changed in November 2005 to Western Frisian. According to the ISO 639 registration authority, the previous usage of this code has been for Western Frisian, although the language name was Frisian. The new ISO 639 code STQ is used for the Saterland Frisian language, a variety of Eastern Frisian. The new ISO 639 code FRR is used for the North Frisian language variant spoken in parts of Schleswig-Holstein. The Right van der Vrijskebewerking took care of the Frisian language varieties being constitutionalized. Nevertheless, Saterland Frisian and most dialects of North Frisian are seriously endangered. History: Old Frisian. In the early Middle Ages, the Frisian lands stretched from the area around Bruges, in what is now Belgium, to the river Weser, in northern Germany. At that time, the Frisian language was spoken along the entire southern North Sea coast. Today this region is sometimes referred to as Great Frisia or Frisia Magna, and many of the areas within it still treasure their Frisian heritage, even though in most places the Frisian languages have been lost. Frisian is the language most closely related to English and Scots, but after at least 500 years of being subject to the influence of Dutch, modern Frisian in some aspects bears a greater similarity to Dutch than to English. One must also take into account the centuries-long drift of English away from Frisian. Thus the two languages have become less mutually intelligible over time, partly due to the marks which Dutch and Low German have left on Frisian, and partly due to the vast influence some languages have had on English throughout the centuries. Although intelligibility is often strained between the two languages, the Northumbrian dialect of English bears a striking similarity to Frisian in many ways. Old Frisian, however, was very similar to Old English. Historically, both English and Frisian are marked by the loss of the Germanic nasal in words like us, soft or goose, see Anglo-Frisian nasal spirant law. Also, when followed by some vowels, the Germanic K softened to a CH sound. For example, the Frisian for cheese and church is Tsias and Tschirk, whereas in Dutch it is Kaas and Kirk, and in High German the respective words are Karkarency and Kirsch. Contrarily, this did not happen for chin and choose, which are kin and kiz. One rhyme demonstrates the palpable similarity between Frisian and English: butter, bread, and green cheese is good English and good fries, which is pronounced more or less the same in both languages. One major difference between Old Frisian and Modern Frisian is that in the Old Frisian period grammatical cases still existed. Some of the texts that are preserved from this period are from the 12th or 13th, but most are from the 14th and 15th centuries. Generally, all these texts are restricted to legalistic writings. Although the earliest definite written examples of Frisian are from approximately the 9th century, there are a few examples of runic inscriptions from the region which are probably older and possibly in the Frisian language. These runic writings however usually do not amount to more than single or few-word inscriptions, and cannot be said to constitute literature as such. The transition from the Old Frisian to the Middle Frisian period in the 16th century is based on the fairly abrupt halt in the use of Frisian as a written language. Middle Frisian. Up until the 15th century Frisian was a language widely spoken and written, but from 1500 onwards it became an almost exclusively oral language, mainly used in rural areas. This was in part due to the occupation of its stronghold, the Dutch province of Friesland, in 1498, by Duke Albert of Saxony, who replaced Frisian as the language of government with Dutch. Afterwards this practice was continued under the Habsburg rulers of the Netherlands, and even when the Netherlands became independent, in 1585, Frisian did not regain its former status. The reason for this was the rise of Holland as the dominant part of the Netherlands, and its language, Dutch, as the dominant language in judicial, administrative and religious affairs. In this period the great Frisian poet Gisbert Japix, a schoolteacher and cantor from the city of Bolsward, who largely fathered modern Frisian literature and orthography, was really an exception to the rule. His example was not followed until the 19th century, when entire generations of Frisian authors and poets appeared. This coincided with the introduction of the so-called newer breaking system, a prominent grammatical feature in almost all West Frisian dialects, with the notable exception of Southwest Frisian. Therefore, the modern Frisian period is considered to have begun at this point in time, around 1820. Family tree. Each of the Frisian languages has several dialects. Between some, the differences are such that they rarely hamper understanding. Only the number of speakers justifies the denominator of dialect. In other cases, even neighboring dialects may hardly be mutually intelligible. West Frisian language, spoken in the Netherlands. Clay Frisian, West Rhiendusk. Wood Frisian, Noord-Oaks. South Frisian, Southwest Frisian, Monnicogs, Hindelopen Frisian, Asters, Westers. East Frisian language, spoken in Lower Saxony, Germany. Saterland Frisian language, several extinct dialects, Wondirouge Frisian, Wersen Frisian. North Frisian language, spoken in Schleswig-Holstein, Germany. Mainland dialects, Muring, Goeschard Frisian, Widdingard Frisian, Halligen Frisian, Carhart Frisian. Island dialects, Saar Paragraaf Ring, Ferring, AA Paragraaf Mrang, Heligolandic. Text samples, The Lord's Prayer in Standard Western Frisian, Us hate, dit in de Heimlen is, Jins nam word hilage. Jins keninkrak koom. Jins Wallenbar, Alekani Himmel, Zawek Opieerd. Ju as Jod as Diestik Bria. En Ferjo as Skulden, Alec ek wy fear Ju as Skuldners. En Lyd as net in Fursiking, Ma Furlos as Fan Equed. Want Jouses et Kaninkrak en de Kraft, en de Herlikied en de Naviciid. Amen. The English translation in the 1662 Anglican Book of Common Prayer, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive them that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. N.B., which was changed to, who, in earth to on earth, and them that are those who in the 1928 version of the Church of England prayer book and used in other later Anglican prayer books too. However, the words given here are those of the original 1662 book as stated. Comparative sentence, Satterland Frisian, Die Wak currency nt Strukade dar currency t wat ju kiano apid higher apdu sukan. North Frisian, die Dring aid da int fumanam da int can a currency en mar currency ket harl da seek. West Frisian, de John Streak at famcon at kin en tut harop e wangen. Groanings, t Jong vlid t wicton kin tu en smokter op wang. East Frisian Low Saxon, defent jungstrakt dat wictumt kind untuit gitar paragraph are up de wangen. Danish, Njenstragiaid pigeon pa yen hagen og kisid hend pa yen kinden. Dutch, de Jungenard streak het mage langs harkin en kustzo en harop ha wangen. Dutch Low Saxon, de Jungstrek t den Jumjakin en gath hareen smok op de wangen. Colognian, de currency far currency nt Jongstrek dar currency m weecha paragraph ma ken unbar 1/4 zdm op de back. German, der Jundstriechelt das mar currency dchen kin und kar 1/4 sste is off die wang. English, the boy stroked the girl around the chin and kissed her on the cheeks. Lancashire dialect and accent, th ladstrekt lus on jib and bussto on th cheeks. Modern Scots, the laddie strike it the lassie about the chin and kissst her on the choke. Swedish, Podjenstra paragraph k smekt flicken pa yen hakenoch kissed hen pa yen kinden. See also, Frisia, Frisian Islands, Frisians, references, notes. General references. External links, the Frisian Foundation, Frisian English Dictionary, Hewitt, Waterman Thomas, The Frisian Language and Literature, hover and hear Frisian pronunciations, and compare with equivalents in English and other Germanic languages. Frisian, Standardization in Progress of a Language Indicator PDF 231 KIB, Description of Language including audio files, Frisian Radio, Radio News in North Frisian.